Literally, I went to a pig roast. Yeah, it's one of her own pigs that we.
Okay.
Other people who do reenactments, Civil War, the medieval people, the LARPers, that kind of thing. Of course, you're all LARPers deep down.
Yeah, everyone's a LARper. If you cosplay, if you do anything, you're a LARper.
You're a LARper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really. They always say no to me, and I'm like, no, really, you are.
We're of the same. We're the same.
Myself, if I wanted to, at the kitchen table. My dad, who sits at the opposite end, looked at me and said, "No, you can't."
And there it was.
You cannot do this by yourself. And I went, "Watch." Yeah.
So, anything nerdy, I'm into D&D, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. So this is kind of like the next logical step here.
Just to let you know, Pikachu will not be there.
Oh, man. Well, but what if I bring a Pikachu?
It's there.
Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of This, That, and the Third. Today I have a very special guest here with me, Friar James.
Also known as Travis Gates, but
also known as Travis Gates,
yeah,
his lesser-known name. And we're going to talk about the Renaissance Fair coming up here in November, correct?
Yes, sir. November 1st and 2nd.
Okay, so I've never actually been to a Renaissance Fair before.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends that go every year, and I just haven't been able to go.
Okay.
So this will actually be my very first one.
Good job.
So,
all right, way to go.
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm a giant nerd anyway.
Yeah.
So as you know, we've met at SpaCon.
Oh yeah.
So, anything nerdy, I'm into D&D, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. So this is kind of like the next logical step here.
Just to let you know, Pikachu will not be there.
Oh, man. Well, but what if I bring a Pikachu?
It's there. Then there we go.
So how long have you been doing the Renaissance Fair?
The Renaissance Fair for Hot Springs, or for the South Central area that we kind of call ourselves, started off in 2019.
2019. So it's fairly recent.
Yeah, we're 7 years old.
Okay. So that's not, that 7 years is nothing to sniff at.
Now, what's really funny about that is that we are the longest continuously running fair in all of Arkansas.
Really?
Yep.
So there's other Ren Fairs.
There are others, and there have been others. We are actually, and of course, California claims to have the first official Renaissance Fair, and they do. It's the Pleasure Fair. They do. But way back in the 1950s, up in Batesville, they actually had, or Russellville, I think it's Russellville. They actually had a fair that was there that was just an archery competition for the local high school, but they all dressed in
period clothing.
Yeah. And they all, whatever they thought 1959 was period back in those days. It's amazing how much double knit polyester you can flash around.
Right.
And they were doing archery, horn blowings, the whole, had a king and queen, the whole 9 yards, and did it. So theoretically, Arkansas was the first to actually have a Renaissance Fair. They just didn't know it.
Oh, okay. So it was just an archery contest that evolved into that?
And it was like there for like 2-3 years, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't like it was, they didn't know what they had. So it just kind of came and went. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a very vibrant community.
Oh, yeah.
From what I've seen. And I've seen, like for the last few years, I've seen, like I said, I have a lot of friends that go. And I'm really not sure why I haven't had an opportunity to go, but maybe this is why.
Is why.
Yeah, to save it for when we can record it. So we will be there.
Cool.
And we'll be giving some footage for you, and promoting it and stuff. Which, you want to shout out your socials?
Socials. Okay, sure. I thought it was like, no one needs to know my social ID. no one.
Need your social security number.
Yes.
Your mother's maiden name.
Yeah. Go ahead and put it out there. So the for social media, you can actually go to Facebook is first and foremost. That's where we originally landed at, and that's just Facebook. I think it's www.facebook.com/ and then it's the Hot Springs Renaissance Fair. If you just go to a search engine and put in the Hot Springs Renaissance Fair, you'll find us.
Okay. Instagram. Okay.
I think.
And then
yes.
So And then there's the Purple Pass website.
The Purple Pass website is for ticket taking. So that's purplepass.com / and then it's HSRENFAIRE 7.
Okay.
For the 7. So it's always like whatever number fair we're on, there's a number attached to it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So like kind of like Spock-on was.
You got it. So
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So how much does it cost to get in?
So for just a general, like for you, general adult, would be $15.
Okay. Per day?
Per day. Well, no. Well, that's if they didn't do it double. If they actually went for the entire weekend, it's $25.
Okay.
So that's the way I look at it. An entire weekend of just walking through us, seeing the shows, all the fights, all that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, it's cheaper than the movies.
That's a fair deal. Seriously, $25 for all weekend. I mean, and that gives you access to all the events, all the
events, everything that happens, $25. I mean, there are some special things that you do have to buy tickets for,
right.
Which we are very, very low on. So if anyone wants to jump in and actually purchase those things, please do. The so it is the Feast of St. Hubris,
okay.
Which is a village like a peasant feast. You won't find high royalty there, but you'll find all the ruckus
right.
That actually would have gone with
all
it.
the rabble.
All the rabble. The rabble is rabbling.
That sounds like the table I'm going to be at.
Yeah, and so it's a good event. Lots of music, lots of activities, games to play, as well as the aspect of good food. It's been catered out, so don't think, oh my God, what are these people cooking in the kitchen?
They're not actually roasting a pig outside.
Roasting. I had that last weekend. That was nice.
I've actually done a pig roast before, and it was delicious.
It
was really good.
They cut it all up into like barbecue pieces, and then you just ate that. Yeah, it was nice. It was a friend's wedding. It's a friend's wedding party.
Oh, so you actually did have a pig roast?
Literally. I went to a pig roast.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's one of her own pigs that they slaughtered and did their little thing, and so if I say literally I've been to one, trust me.
Wow.
Yeah, I travel around.
Apparently.
So, yeah, it was way up there, but no, it's got a full catered menu. So no adult libations. Kids are welcome to come to it.
Okay.
The whole 9 yards. So I've only got I think there's 10 tickets left or 12 tickets left of that. So it's kind of like, hop to it.
Good to it.
Hop to it. And then we have...
And it's almost... 3 weeks out, right?
Yeah, 3 weeks out. So I'm like, finish it up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this done.
Get it done. Get it done now. And then we have the fairy teas. Now, the fairy teas are a little bit different. They are more of a high English tea. So you do get instead of hot tea, because, we're not like some big major chains in town that like to have, coffee that will scold you and you have to go through a lawsuit.
Right in the eyeball.
Yeah, that's right. We actually have ours in little paper cups, and it's like a colorful... They call it a butterfly tea, which I've never really heard of. It's like when you pour the water into the cup
and it turns purple.
Yeah, it changes colors and stuff.
I was looking this up last night, and it was like this special flower that makes a purple tea, and then you put lemonade in it or lemon juice, and it turns it this crazy color.
Yeah. So I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So our fairies are getting ready for that, and and you've got crumpets and cookies and stuff like that to go with that.
So these are events within the Renaissance.
It's an event within the Renaissance Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We just call them activities that actually take place, during that point in time. Okay. And there's, I only think that Sunday. The late Sunday tea is actually still completely open. Okay. Everything else has been sold out. So it's fun. They get to read story tells to kids. There's all these flowers and fairy stuff hanging around.
Awesome.
So so they thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm always happy to see it.
Yeah.
I've never been to one before, but
you're just too busy.
I'm just too busy.
Too busy doing everything.
Too busy. So so there's a lot of fires to put out and a lot of things going. Not real fires.
Right. Not literal fires.
No literal fires. But there's things that happen that I have to kind of go through and put out and deal with.
So that kind of leads me to one of my questions that I had. What's kind of the hardest part logistically running the Ren Faire?
Goodness,
what's one of the fires you've had to put out?
That's the stuff that I do, and that's coming up. The really the most logistically tough part, we've got part of it done already, which is our vendor packets, making sure that everything is legally put into it, that's supposed to go into it, so we can just hand it to you, and then placing them. That's the second. That's part B, is placing these people on the ground
playing
to
with
where
Legos.
It's like, and it is, and it's you have to know exactly where things are going to be set at. And other people have tried it. and it's not worked. And I keep telling him that's because it's all up here.
Right. Yeah.
It's all up top. I know exactly where I want to see things at, and the crazy angles and that kind of stuff. And I said, if you do it, it'll work.
It'll work.
If you don't do it the way I want it to have, it won't work. It just won't, and that's sad. But that's how it goes.
Unfortunately, true. So this is at the fairgrounds, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Garland County Fairgrounds, and we are in the. When you pull up into it, we'll track you around the outside of it, and then you get to go park inside. You'll see a walled compartment that has our ticket takers and all that kind of stuff up to it.
So it's kind of like a little section.
It is, yes.
Yeah,
so you actually go through that, and then we have the rest of the almost 7 acres that you'll walk down into, which is all where the buildings are at.
Oh, wow.
And now we just kind of forget the buildings are there, and we build around everything. So all of our booths
kind of like
stuff,
a set. Almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like a set. So all of our booths are around there and just kind of hidden, so that they don't have. Well, the booths aren't hidden, but the buildings are hidden, and the booths are actually out front.
So it kind of doesn't break the illusion.
We try not to.
Okay.
Yeah, it does have its challenges out there. There's no trees, which most people go, "Oh, there's no trees."
Right.
Ren Faire, and it's like, yeah, well, sorry.
I mean, it's an open space. What more you want?
It's an open space that I can afford. It's got flushy water, so it's like, we can
it's
use
got
the
amenities
restrooms
for human beings.
That's right.
I think it'll be okay.
So I'm happy with
just
that.
Just pretend a little harder.
Just use that imagination.
Yeah, it takes imagination to be here anyway. So, okay. Cool. Well, so speaking of kids, how much is it for a kid to get in?
Well, it depends on the age.
Okay.
So if they are 5 and below, then that means 4 and below. That means they're absolutely free.
Oh, awesome.
Free. And then the 5 to 13 are actually $5.
Okay. So I mean that's pretty affordable.
Yeah. Now we don't really want to, as they say, soak the patrons coming in.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here for. Okay. We're here for actually doing imagination and introduction to literacy, so that we can try to get them to read more, imagine more, and be more creative. That's awesome. That's kind of one of our missions.
Yeah.
That's
and
our
you
mission
can't do
statement.
that if you're trying to charge $15-20 a kid.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, okay. So we spoke a little bit at SpaCon about how you're actually a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
So
we are a 501c3.
Right. So, okay, for people who don't know, what exactly is a nonprofit?
So, a 501c3 nonprofit means that it is a tax-free agency of the state of from the state of Arkansas.
Okay.
In our case, we are actually we still pay some tax, not a lot, but we do pay some tax.
Right.
And we are an education-based 501c3. You can have other 501c3s,
right,
but we're an education-based one.
So does that mean that you don't get paid for anything you do?
Oh, no, we don't.
So everything's volunteer work.
Every person you see out there that has a badge that says Hot Springs Renaissance Faire is a volunteer.
Oh, that's amazing. That's that's crazy. I can't get 5 people to volunteer to help me clean my garage. That's insane. How many people do you usually use?
So we have a cast of about 60.
60 people.
Mm-hmm.
So for a whole weekend, 60 people dedicate their days,
to
help
actually
for $0.
Yep, for $0.
That's incredible. That's a real community right there, though.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's see. Oh, I was doing a little research on you, and
oh no.
So I see that you guys have like royalty, like a hierarchy. You have a king and a queen.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we're governed by a board of trustees and stuff because of the 501c3. But if you actually look down and go, okay, well, who's really at the fair? What's up? Yes, we do. Queen Elizabeth is there. We have got
not the Queen Elizabeth.
Not that. No, she'd be looking kind of rough at that point in time. Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, but the
new Queen Elizabeth.
The new, this is not Queen Elizabeth II. This is the person portraying Queen Elizabeth I.
Okay.
And our year is 1570. So if anyone wants to go up and historically go after us, it's like, okay, great, go.
So is that the year every Renaissance fair?
Our fair is 1570.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's done that on purpose. That it's not just a day in time that we can all go click. It is actually a year of time that we can go on click.
Right.
And when it comes to that, that means that we're trying to portray what life would be like in 1570. And there was no major wars. Everything was very much at peace within England.
Okay.
So the Queen was a little bit more at ease. So we were able to kind of keep, the flow going in a nice, peaceful. So it's kind
of a snapshot of history where things were nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always dare people, go to our royal tent, talk to the royals, and ask them a question. Ask them anything about that time period. They'll be able to answer.
I mean, I guess that's why they're royalty.
That's
right?
why they're royalty.
So okay, let me ask this: How do you become royalty? Can you just...
You can't like be voted in. It is like you're in there until you're, well, for the women, you're in there until, for especially Queen Elizabeth, you're in there until you're pregnant or you don't want to do it anymore.
You don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it.
And you probably don't feel like doing it pregnant.
Yeah, no. Well, she was the Virgin Queen, so she wasn't,
So that would totally shatter the illusion.
Totally shatter it when we got a baby bump. So so we can't do that. We have to kind of pull back and go, okay, all right, let's find someone for, the 9 months and when you come back, and the thing is they don't want to come back. I got a new baby to take care of, so which is very, very important.
Right, of course.
So so then they go away, and then we have to find another one.
Well, I mean, queens come and go.
They do. They do.
Okay, so who's the king currently?
We don't have a king. Queen Elizabeth ruled by herself.
So there's no king.
There is no king.
Okay, so who's the guy on the website?
What website?
On the Ren Faire website, it says the king. There's with a gray beard. Did I just misread that?
You must have misread something.
Okay.
Because I'm like going, there's no way. Now, there is a guy in a floppy hat with a gray beard this long. And
that might be it.
Yeah, and he is actually one of her, is in all honesty, Sir Brumley, one of her most trusted associates.
Okay. So she's kind of like the hand.
Kind of like the
hand
thing.
Of the queen.
Yep. And you'll notice him out there by way of a white stick. If he's holding like a white single in like cane kind of thing.
Gandalf staff.
Yeah, well, sort of. There's just no top to it.
Right.
Realistically, it was just a cut piece of wood that was painted white, and that was it. And it's kind of like whoever talks has the stick.
Okay.
And so he has the voice, and unless you're going to the queen and and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. It sounds like a pretty immersive experience.
We try to be as best we can. Now, we're a soft fair, which means that most of our stuff is actually brought in that week, set up, and then in like 2 days taken down.
A soft fair? What's the difference between a
soft and a hard fair? So a hard fair already has pre-established buildings and a pre-established castle gate or something like that. So it's already...
So like a permanent
one, yes. And we're not. Now, we're always looking for land.
Pop-up, right?
We're a pop-up, yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, hint, hint, we're looking for land. So hint, it'd be nice to actually, have a piece of property. What are you, a realtor? You're pointing something. So, okay, all right. I was like,
we know really? A lot of realtors. So I mean,
so it's so if we have a realtor who knows of some land that is being given away for like tax purposes or sold extremely cheap, then yes, we would love to have that. Something flat would be nice instead of rolling hills. But this is Arkansas, so rolling hills are okay. Some of the hills we have here in town, not so much.
Right.
But flat land is always great,
especially to set up booths and tables. And stuff.
Well, if we ever had land, we would start going towards a permanent existence and start building.
That would be way cooler, to where you could just always have that land
always
there.
Have it,
and
then that way
work on it year round.
We already had our battle plan of like having a permanent site sooner or later, and then that permanent site would do school field trips because we'd bring in like livestock to actually have to take care of.
Oh, wow.
But it'd be like school field trips for that. For during any time of the year they could just pop in and do their thing.
It wouldn't have to be around Ren Faire time.
Now other people who do reenactments, Civil War, the medieval people, the LARPers, that kind of thing. Of course, you're all LARPers deep down inside.
Yeah, everyone's a LARPer. If you cosplay, if you do anything, you're a LARPer.
You're a LARPer. Yeah. I mean, that's just really. They always say no to me, and I'm like, no, really, you are.
We're of the same. We're the same.
We're the same. It really is. So they could come out there and do like day camps or stay overnight camps and stuff like that. But I mean, that's a dream. So it's
far in the future.
Far in the future. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't see it slowing down. I feel like I see more and more about it every year.
Well, good.
So.
Yeah. Well, we were trying.
Yeah.
That's that. We try to put out different types of advertisements, kind of see how things actually go, see how people react to it and whatnot, and then from that right there, I mean, we've got a demographic that we've learned what our demographic is. And then people go, oh, it's everybody. No, actually, it's not. Literally, it is female, with or without kids, from 20 to about 45.
That's an incredible demographic.
That's the demographic.
Wow.
And that's just, so are men important? Well, heck yeah, buy that ticket. Men get in. They get to have all their manly fun. We have axe throws. We have fighters that are in real metal that actually
I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, so it's not like we're just all like, oh,
just catering to
just
the
catering
female
to
crowd.
female. No, we're not.
Okay.
We don't. And then this year we have arm wrestling. You're probably thinking arm wrestling, but it is an actual sport that was back in the day.
Yeah,
it was mostly in the bars. So the this is not in the bars. But yeah, there's an actual federation of wrestlers, arm wrestlers in Arkansas. I had no idea about. So that's
I've heard a lot more recently about arm wrestling than I have in a long time. Maybe it's becoming a more popular sport.
I guess.
Yeah. So we actually had a guest, Michael Todd.
Okay.
He's a arm wrestler from here in Hot Springs.
He's
like
there.
a world champ. He'll be out there.
He'll be out there.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna work on.
I was like, Michael Todd, I know that name. So, yeah.
So small world. I guess we're all LARPers in one way or
the other. It's like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay, so let's see. I had a couple more questions for you. Yeah, let's talk about the nights. What's up with that?
So it's Tulsa Free Company that comes down once a year for us.
Okay, so they're from Oklahoma?
They're from Oklahoma, Tulsa.
Okay.
Hence the name.
Right.
Although there probably is a Tulsa, Arkansas. There probably is.
Probably.
But they're from Oklahoma. And they come completely dressed as a knight would have been dressed in the period of fighting. So it's complete. You've got
1850.
You got the gamison. 1850. No, 1570.
1570. Wow. Why did I say 1850?
I don't know. It's like, we're not really pre-Civil War. I mean, we are, but it's like
1570. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's 1570.
Where did I come up with that number?
I don't know. But they have their normal clothes on beneath that, like their
people clothes.
People clothes.
Their mobile clothing.
Yeah, mobile. Yeah, and then then they have all their gamisons and squishy stuff on, which is what really would have happened.
Right.
Then they start with their metal. And they metal up all the way so that there's no spare, like little tanks. So they're out there and they have real weapons. That's the whole thing. It's not like, it's a dull one that won't cut bread.
Right.
No, it'll it'll take out bread if you want it to.
Wow.
So they actually do fight. We've had ambulances out there many a time.
Oh my God. That was actually going to be my next question.
Having ambulances.
Yeah.
Well, we have on-site EMTs and we have the paramedics that are on site with us anyway. Just in case something happens. Just in case
the knife slips in an armpit.
Something. Well, most of it's for like slips and falls and bumps and bruises that happen there on the fairgrounds. But beyond that, last time we had a paramedic, that was 2 years ago. I had taken a lunch, believe it or not. I was like, let me stop for just a second.
I need to
eat. So I had gotten a sandwich and I was just gnawing on this great sandwich and the guy fell right. No, we did have an ambulance last year. So he fell, this 2 years ago. So he fell right in front of me. Big, huge, massive, dust everywhere. And I was like, great. And so I'm like on the sideline screaming, don't remove the helmet. Don't remove the helmet. And so they're out there shaking his head.
Trying to remove the helmet.
They removed the helmet and the gauntlet and the whole nine. And I was just like, really? Or the gorget. They removed the gorget. And I was like, really? I mean, now this guy could be a paramedic. Or not a paramedic, a paraplegic.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is not right. And no, he got up. I'm fine. Just bumped my head. I'm just going to go back to fight.
What?
And so, and so he put his
these
equipment.
Guys must be tough as nails.
They have to be. Now, they're an international organization, not just, they are with an international organization. So they're like a chapter of it.
I see.
Arkansas has a wee little one that comes and plays. And we hope that they actually become something so that we could actually say, okay, we're Arkansas. We strive really hard. And sometimes you just can't, it'd be a regional fair to actually have as many Arkansans and Arkansas items that are actually made, handcrafted or found
locally
sourced so that we can actually push our state.
Right.
I love my state. So,
obviously you've been doing a lot for it recently. Yeah.
Well, I love my state anyway. Our family is one of the founding families of Arkansas.
Oh, really?
So we were here in 1836. There's your 18s.
There's your 18s. Maybe that's what I was.
So 1836, my family was here down in Bradley, what would be Bradley County.
Okay.
So
So your blood's been running.
We've been running Arkansas pretty strong and straight. So
That's awesome. That's really a great legacy to keep going. So these knights, what do they fight for prize money?
They fight for their own glory and their own prizes, not internet. And these guys have all been overseas to France, to Spain, to fight in the international organizations tournaments that are over there. And so they get to bring back like gold chunks of medals and silvers and all that kind of stuff.
So it's for straight honor and
straight
glory.
honor and glory. That's it. And they have a whole women team too that come to us and play. So when they go, women aren't as strong. No, actually, the women here are the world champions as of right now.
Really?
They come down to play with us. So I wouldn't pick a fight with them.
Yeah.
So,
that sounds awesome.
So I enjoy it.
They the women dress up and just go at it.
Go at it. Yeah. And we have big melees. The female and the men do actually fight each other, and generally the women
talk about gender equality.
Yeah,
bro.
Gender equality. And so the women do normally fight more. The men are so encompassed by because they think, I'm a big guy, I'm going to go out there and fight it. Well, big guy doesn't move that fast, and so it's
especially with 100 pounds of armor on.
Well, they do pretty good with the armor thing. Yeah. Armor is actually really flexible, and so you can really get into it. But the when you have all that natural poundage, it kind of stops.
Right.
It slows you down.
Yeah.
And the women, not so much.
Right.
So so they get out there and just do it.
The taller they are, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah.
So okay, well that's super cool, man. I had a couple more questions for you here. So it's got to be mentally and physically taxing to organize something like this.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did this start? Like, how did you begin? Like, we're going to do a Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. So oddly enough, no, I had just gotten over my depression from being divorced and whatnot. And I was just kind of lost and lonely. And I said, I could do this myself if I wanted to at the kitchen table. My dad, who sits at the opposite end, looked at me and said, no, you can't.
And there it was.
You cannot do this by yourself. And I went, watch. And that's all I told him. I said, just watch me. And ate dinner and quietly went about my business like nothing else was going on.
Right.
And it took us roughly about 6 months to kind of go to the library, gin up people, figure out what we actually need to do, and then start bringing them in. And boom, 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 boom.
So how did the idea come about?
Well, I was with the SCA, Society of Creative Anachronism, before becoming, which is a group, if you want to call them like a bowling group, that's what they are.
Okay.
That has a bunch of different, we all dress up, we all fight, we all have arts. And
more LARPing, baby.
So it's more LARPing. So I was kind of involved in that. So I already knew kind of what I was looking at and for, but I had never done the Ren Faire thing. So we went to a couple of Ren Fairs just to kind of get an idea. Went to Scarborough and to Sherwood and then came up to the castle at Muskogee. And so we saw the solid fairs, big fairs. And then I went and saw small fairs and I went, I can do that with no problem. With my eyes closed, I can do it. Yeah. But that was when we first opened, which was like, we have like 35 vendors. Yay. Now we have like 149 vendors this year.
Nice.
So it's like there's a lot.
Yeah.
And each one is not a duplication. Each one is generally a separate art form or a degree of an art form off of something.
Right.
So everything that we have out there is made in the way that there would have been if we actually had that stuff during the period. So if you look for earrings, yes, a lot of them are silvers, a lot of them are sterling silvers, but that's just because, guess what, we had that now.
Right.
So it's like that's how that happens.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. You're not going to find, too many, although you will find the actual people doing out there, breaking down, hammering the stuff out. And smelting and stuff. And they do that. We have lots of blacksmiths. We have like 2 or 3 blacksmiths out there that show different styles of actually doing it. That's the reason why they're out there. And some have very specific things that they do.
Right.
And like they'll make knives, niche. They'll make hinges and door handles and stuff like that. So if you're looking for really a rough or a primitive way of looking at things, I want my kitchen primitive handles. Okay, guess what? You can do that.
You can do it.
Just come to the fair and they're there.
Period accurate, baby.
Yep, that's that. So,
wow. Okay, so what kind of vendors do you have out there? You say you got some blacksmiths.
So I got blacksmiths. We've got all sorts of people that crochet, which people are going, Crochet. Well, yes, they had knitting and tatting back in those days. Yeah. So today we have crochet. So it's the same art form.
Same concept, yeah.
Same concept. It's just kind of going across. Yeah. So we have those. We have artisans. I've got a wonderful person who does charcoal sketches, which is a form from way back when. Right. So it's very, very nice. And we've got, tons of food people too.
That's what I'm looking forward
food
to.
people, I'll go, if you walk away from us hungry, you're probably just broke. Because
I will be afterwards.
Because there's lots of food, lots. And I'm on variety. So I like having variety. So we do actually have Asian cuisine. We actually do have English. I'm not talking English like us. It's
like
English.
England.
It's like England and Scottish and Irish. We've got those particular people who will be there that cook the specialty of that particular country. Nice. If you get it or not. Yeah. We have some pretty good. We've got one Italian guy who's doing mini pizzas and sandwiches, which is always a big thing for me. Yeah. We have
super portable, easy to carry around.
Easy to carry. Go. Fish and chips. Fish sandwiches, the whole 9 yards.
Nice. Man, you're making me hungry talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's early morning. Here we go. So you got all that's out there as well, and turkey legs for everyone who goes fair. Turkey legs. We've got like the #1 turkey leg maker in the entire, I would say, region, if not state. And he's here in town. He's on Malvern Avenue. If you want to try him out.
Him at Spokane.
Yeah. That's Mr. Jefferson, which is right there across from 1412. Or 1214.
Yeah, I've driven by there, right on Malvern Avenue.
Yes.
Right by Taco Mama.
Right by Taco Mama.
Okay,
Yep. Right across from Diane's stuff. You actually have his truck, and they do barbecue. So like barbecues are a big thing, but for us though it is turkey legs because everyone likes them, and they're phenomenal. Phenomenal. They just really are. And then for me, we have some root beer sellers out there too. For those of us who don't drink, like myself,
I don't drink either.
Yeah, so we do have root beer out there. We do have mead. So if you've never had an adult beverage that's called mead, you should try it. It's honey wine. It's what it is, which was actually something that they drunk back in those days. We do have beers. There's several breweries with us because we never drank water back in the 1570s.
Right, they drank a lot of beer.
That was dangerous.
Yeah.
So it was dangerous up until about the 1780s, almost 1800s.
Lots of cholera.
It's you had beaver fever. Well, because the reason is, this is going to be kind of gross, but when you had flowing water, people would go, "Oh, look, I can put my sewage in there, personal sewage," which, or they would just do it because it left. So hey, but
the guy downstream will worry about it.
That's right. The guy downstream will worry about it. That's exactly it. And the guy downstream is dying because the fact that cholera because he's drinking that juice. Right. So so it's just not something that shouldn't be in the water at all. So so I'm glad around Hot Springs we have all of our problems fixed with that kind of stuff. Yeah. But needless to say, water was bad, and so an ale or a beer, a light beer, you would give a kid, a 6-year-old, if they were going to school. You got to think school wasn't for everybody. Right. So if they were going out just to the fields that morning, you gave them a chunk of loaf of bread just to break it off. Here's your bread, Billy, and here's your beer.
Here's your bread and beer for the day.
Bread and beer.
Get to harvesting.
Get it. And then they would go out to the fields and do the stuff or chores around the farm. Right. But that's what they drunk. They didn't get drunk. Right. They drink it, and that was
their hydration.
That was their hydration.
That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah. I can't imagine handing my 6-year-old like here's a Bud Light.
Here's a Bud Light.
Here's a piece of bread.
Yep.
Go do your thing.
Go play. Just don't let the neighbor see it. So that's the thing. But that's how it happened back in those days.
That's true.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny how it was like, okay, everyone got it, and that happened almost up to World War I, where everyone got beer and ale and stuff like that. Right. Wine was for the evening hours if you could afford it, but ale was everywhere. Beer was everywhere.
Just as a drink.
Just as a drink. Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to drink nasty water.
Yeah, that's why there were so many beer bars.
And it's sterile.
It's sterile too. I mean, it has been put through the process, been pasteurized, basically. So it's good to go. I mean, it's not like it's actually a bad beverage. Now, I'm not saying go out today and just drink until you drop.
Don't do that.
I don't drink until I drop. So I don't even drink. So for me, it's root beer, and there's 2 vendors there, B&K and what's the other one? Slate Rock Brewery, which is actual beer brewery, but they actually brew me an entire.
This is the one you were telling me about.
Yeah, they actually brew an entire case of a keg of root beer just for me.
Yay.
So yay diabetes.
Right.
But it was
Friar James special root beer.
Yep, and that's what they call it.
Nice.
Travis's special root beer.
Nice.
And so, my name is on the keg, and they just know that I don't even. They're such sweethearts because I like keep a tab going.
Right.
I just walk up there with my mug. More,
come on,
more.
I'll have another.
And another. And it's like yes, as I go through the day because it's nice, and you can't really find a lot of water. You can find water, but it's like no. And if I really want our water from home, that's actually, free for me to get, I have to go all the way to the front.
All the way.
And I'm just like going, no.
I'll just go with
I'm
root
not
beer.
crumbling up that hill. I'm just going to go over here. And I do check in up there, but it's like, no, that's my mom's region. She's the CFO, so...
That's her territory.
That's her territory.
That's her lands.
Yep, I'm not going to the hill until I have to. So that's that.
Okay, so you do this every year?
Every year.
Every single year?
Now, we actually do it twice a year, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. So, like next year, March 7th and 8th. And
so
that's
there's a spring one and a fall one?
Well, sort of, kind of. The spring one is a little bit different. It is actually called the Arkansas Viking Festival. And so everything Viking is actually up there. It's an all thing. Okay. So it really is.
So the one in the fall is more Renaissance Fair.
It is the Renaissance Fair.
And then the March Festival is
the Viking Festival. Yeah.
So along the same lines, still LARPing.
Well, it's still LARPing. It really is. You get to learn a lot about the Renaissance and the Renaissance Fair, and you get to learn a lot about the Vikings
culture.
Viking culture. Yeah, really, because Viking is actually a verb.
Right.
So we're going to go Viking.
I actually just watched a video yesterday about how most Scandinavians weren't Vikings.
No, they weren't.
So, but some were.
Yes, some were.
Yeah.
Yep, some were. And they came back with their slaves. That was the biggest slave trade there was.
Right.
And they also brought back people that they brought, and a lot of them they just stayed. They were comfortable with the Vikings, the way they treated them.
Right.
They didn't treat them bad. They were just not free. So that was kind of the thing. And then some Vikings became farmers. They invaded England so much that some actually stayed there.
Right.
So that was the whole Anglo-Saxon or Anglos that were actually there. Then you had your Saxons. And then you had the French in 1066 that kind of had the Normandy invasion.
The Normandy thing, yeah. That's weird. I literally just watched a video about this.
No, okay,
thing.
all right.
Yeah.
You can probably teach me a piece or two.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
No, I'm a huge history nerd. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm a pretty much anything nerd. If it's nerdy, I'm probably into it.
Okay, cool.
I'll probably be at the Viking Festival too.
Oh, please do. Please do. It's fun. Just do me a favor and do not wear horns on your hat. That is my number one thing to beat out is the hat. There were no such thing as cow horns on a hat. That did not happen.
Really?
No, did not at all. There was an archaeological expedition that actually found some helmet that had like some sort of ornamental straight horns, and they said, "Oh, everyone must have worn these things." And no one wore those things at all whatsoever. So that was always fun.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought that was
Nope.
So that's just like a Hollywood thing?
It's a Hollywood thing.
Really?
Yeah. It's a historical screw up that they just kept going and going with it.
And they just ran with it.
That's what they knew at the time, history wise. So they just kept going.
That's it just got reportrayed in media over and over again. And
that's
and
it.
now everyone thinks a Viking has to have horns.
Little horns in his head, and no, they don't. And it's like every piece of clip art, every piece of something I try to pull down.
Now, when you think Viking, you think the hat with the horns on the head.
And it's like, no, don't. Double-headed axes, something like that. Sure, a lot of Mjolnirs having around if you're a fan of Marvel, then you know what the Mjolnir is. And then they have something called a troll cross that they would actually wear. It was so funny that back in the days when they were taking over England, they would literally have the cross of Christ behind them, and then they would have like the troll cross or Mjolnir in front of them, so that when they were with their brethren,
they would multi-theistic.
They would actually show the Mjolnir and go, "Hey, look, I'm one of you.
Yeah, I'm one of you guys. I'm pagan."
And then all of a sudden, when a priest walked by, or it was Sunday, so all the community was going to mass, they would flip it around and you'd have the cross.
Huh.
And so it's kind of interesting.
One thing that I did learn that they did, so Christianity was huge back then. It was starting to become huge, and it became imbued with political power.
It was. Oh yes.
So. A lot of these Vikings would pretend to become Christian, so
they can gain the throne.
Right, so they can gain the throne or legitimacy or whatever, of the state, but secretly they were still pagan.
Secretly they were still very pagan. And to this day, we have pagan stuff that Christians actually do. Yeah. I am one, but it's still part of our culture.
Right.
To actually
the
have
Christmas
these
tree is pagan, right?
No, it's not. The Christian tree was not pagan. The whole don't take a tree down and like stick it in your house thing. They were talking about the cedars in Lebanon, and it's not that. Halloween.
Well, I was completely wrong.
Halloween is actually a very much a pagan holiday that they converted.
That makes perfect sense.
They converted over earlier and then finally finished it now to where it's not really a Christian holiday because it became one. Right. It's not a Christian one. It's not really a pagan one. It's just whatever.
It's just kind of a holiday.
It's kind of a holiday. Yeah.
Everybody loves Halloween, though.
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah. We do.
LARPing.
Dressed up.
Again, LARPing. Everything comes back down to LARPing, man.
That one word. Yep, LARP.
This whole podcast is going to be about LARPing, and that's it. I've actually, what's funny? I've done LARPing, like, when you go out and
dress up and do your stuff.
Yeah,
and foam.
Fight with knife. Yeah. I've done, like Werewolf the Masquerade.
Yeah. I actually do know those. Never played it, but I do know that stuff. Yeah.
Right. And so, like I said, this whole Renaissance Fair is right up my alley. I can't believe I actually haven't been to one yet.
Yeah, we've had 7 of them. Where have you been?
I don't know, man.
We've had 6. This year's number 7. So make number 7.
All right. Well, we're definitely going to be there this time. So I don't know. I don't know what I should dress up as, though.
Whatever you want to be. You could even be coming in street clothes, and it's fine. We don't mind that at all. We do have clothers there that actually do sell outfits.
Oh, cool.
That are hand knitted
in
the whole nine.
You can just come in and buy one.
Go and go, hey, I want to be this, and just buy it straight off the rack.
Well, that takes a lot of pressure off, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I'm going to have to make my own.
Halloween's like, a
2
day
days
away.
Before,
a day before.
Yeah.
So with the whole, that 30th and 31st, it's right before us.
Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead and the whole 9 yards. So it's like, come as you are. We always tell parents, if you got your kids in a Halloween costume, bring them. That's it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Is that why you guys do it right around then?
No, we do it in the first weekend of November. So that's our set time because the second weekend is the opening of deer season. So we can't
be out there.
So we really want to actually have everybody on that first weekend,
right,
and not the second one because you have tons of deer widows then,
right.
And I don't, the men are all gone.
Deer widows.
Deer widows. Yeah, it's like I've got a husband, but he's gone. He's far
deer
away.
Season. Might as well be a widow.
It's a widow, and that's what we call them around here, deer widows.
Okay.
So
I've actually never heard that till right now.
Yep. So we try to get the entire family, and it is for the entire family. We have kids activities.
It seems like a family event.
Yeah, it is. We got kids activities. We have we do have adult beverages, but it's for adults.
Right.
They say just like we've got tons of lemonade and root beers and boba drinks. I've only had one in my entire life.
No, that sounds awesome.
It was like sucking down fish eggs, and I was just like. That's because they were the tapioca type, and I had no idea.
I don't like the tapioca balls, and I like the ones that pop in your mouth.
Well, I thought they were going to do that, so I had like several in my mouth, and I was just like, it's just like tapioca. It's just sitting there.
It's misleading. It's so squishy.
So misleading. So I was like, okay, we're just going to suck them down, and whatever happens, happens. So we went ahead and did that. And it was a refreshing drink.
Yeah.
That when I was up in
Fayetteville, not what you expected.
It was just not what I really expected. No.
I get that. I really prefer the ones that pop in your mouth.
Yeah, I heard that's what I was getting. So I was all ready.
You were all excited.
Pop. Yeah. It's like Pop Rocks back in the 80s, and it was nothing.
No, it was just
bobs.
Just gooey, balls in your mouth.
Yeah. And I was just like, this is gross. So
that's amazing. So you have boba at the fair?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So it seems like you guys have a pretty good selection of food.
We try to. I mean, that's the whole thing. We try to. I try to actually. Oh, and we do have Latino food as well.
Really?
Yeah. So we've got a food truck that does that. So
my people.
Wasn't like casting anything on you, but I was just like, I'm Italian, but I got the white genes.
Right.
So so it's all out there. That may need to be cut, by the way, just for safety. Anyway, so we tried to encompass as much because in England there was.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot of trade.
Right, there's a lot of culture there. Yeah,
a lot of trade, a lot of culture.
Yeah.
You got to think the potatoes came from Peru. That's why the Irish got them, is because Queen Elizabeth was told, "Oh, they're fresh from the New World, my lady. You should try one." Sure.
Yeah.
So she picked up a one that was, I guess, green still, and bit into it and went, "This is the most disgusting thing I ever had in my life," and threw it at the ambassador that brought it to him and said, "Feed it to the rabble." And of course, where did it go?
And then the rabble got fed.
And the rebel got fed over in Ireland. Right. So yeah, so that's how they got to cultivate and eat everything potato. So yes.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool that way. But the same thing happened to corn. It was actually over here. It was over there, but it wasn't what we would. It wasn't like ears of corn that you just chew away. It wasn't. It was literally like just a couple little buds here, a couple buds there.
Right.
It was an
ornamental. The original form of maize was It didn't have all the kernels.
Nope.
It was just like a string.
It was called an ornamental grass, which is exactly what it is. In all honesty, and so they had it in their gardens. Their formal gardens had corn in it, but not as what
we know it.
Not as what we know it. So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. The agricultural history of the Renaissance Fair.
Oh, that's a whole other podcast, because we could go into the cabbages and the beet juices and all the kind of stuff that they had out there, and it's amazing.
I'm a big history buff, so we could sit and talk about history all day.
So our feast has all of our food is period to when it would have actually happened. So you won't find potatoes, you won't find corn. You will find rutabagas in our potato wannabe kind of thing, but it's you'll find rutabagas, you'll find turnips,
other tubers,
and all those kind of things that are in there that were available that people ate all the time. You just won't find potatoes, and turnips are not. They're not the same turnips that we have, and it's not spicy. It's actually quite nice. And parsnips, they taste like when you bite into them, there's a little bit of a taste of like spearmint that kind of comes out. So it's very, very great.
Minty.
We did have onions by the loads, so we went ahead and did it. And so there's onions in that kind of thing. You don't have to have it if you don't want the onions.
So who prepares the food?
So we have a caterer here in town that we specifically have taught. This is what food we're looking for, and be fancy if you want, but this is this. You can't have.
We want it to be as accurate as we can.
You can't have X, Y, and Z,
right.
But you can have everything around it. Your bread is very important. So, so there's plenty of bread and butters, and so compound butters. Which, if you've never had a compound butter,
toasted buttered bread is one of my favorite snacks of all time,
and it is mine too.
I'll probably enjoy it.
Just take that basket and go.
More of a food festival than anything.
Well, it is. Legally by the state, it's considered a food fest. I have forms to fill out and do stuff like that. That's considered a food fest. They just don't take into account the 149 different vendors that are all around them that actually doesn't do food.
Okay, so legally, technically, it's a food festival.
Legally, it is, but most Ren Fairs are.
Right.
You can turn every corner, and there's someone selling some type of food somewhere, and like drink. Even though it's supposed to be like in the 70s and 60s, 70 I think is for Saturday, and then 68 is like for Sunday. So it's still like a little bit of high weather as far as still kind of warm for our time period. And so I always go hydrate.
Yeah.
So there is
anytime you're out in the sun. You know?
And there's drinks all over the place, waters and whatnot for you to be able to buy and take and rehydrate.
So you said that so you're at the fairgrounds, but you said 6 or 7 acres?
Yeah.
So can you go?
There's that much? Yes, then there is.
Okay.
You've got an entire town, and then you've got like the Wildwoods, and you've got like a gypsy camp to go through.
Cool.
And there's an entire section of the docks where the pirates are at that you can. You don't have to. You can avoid them, but
you don't want to mess with the pirates.
Although the pirates are really cool, and the artisans that put around them are pirate themed, and they're really cool. So,
I might go as a pirate. I might be a pirate.
Oh, cool. Be a pirate. Yeah, they'll love you for that.
Yeah, I think. Because, I don't know. It just seems so classic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can just become. I always tell people the hardest character to actually be is a peasant, because you never know. You can be anything. You can be anybody. It can be anything going on.
Well, I'm one of those right now. So,
so you're good.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. Just wear your sandals, some cut up jeans, or not cut up jeans, but like cut off khakis and hide the top of them with a long piratey shirt, and you got it. So and people go, do I have to come dressed up? No, you do not.
That's cool.
You don't have to.
So kind of like SpotCon. You don't have to come in
You
cosplay.
don't have to come in costume.
So do you get a lot of crossover? A lot of people that go to SpotCon?
Oh, yeah. I had a whole group. I had 10 people from a Star Trek fan club over in Little Rock who said, oh, yeah, we're coming, and we want to know if we can wear Starfleet uniforms there. Of course. Because they remember Big Bang Theory, that show from CBS. Yeah, with all the little nerdy guys. And there was a scene where they were at a Ren Faire. Right. They were dressed up like Ren Faire people, but they came across a bunch of Star Trek folk.
Right.
Yeah, and so it was just like, oh, look at that. And, so, yeah.
Hey, and the Star Trek crew did time travel.
That's
so
right.
There's that. So it's potentially canon.
And they came to planets that were way below what they were supposed to go to. So, yeah. So there's a good chance that you can, you'll fit right in.
Right.
I mean,
it's all LARPing. Anyway.
It's all LARPing. Again, it's the L word. Yeah. And you can do it. It's not that hard. Yeah. And we do have anime people that come through. Cool. A lot of One Piece characters will come through.
Pirates. That makes perfect sense.
Yep. And so.
Oh, I should be a One Piece pirate.
There you go.
Oh, that's a crossover that I've been waiting for.
And your flag will be flying. We do have the Lofi pirate flag that does fly in the midst of all of our other pirate flags. Cool. And people go, why that one? I said, because I like the show.
Because nerds? Yeah, because
I like the show. So that's it.
That's awesome.
So, yep.
That's actually her son's favorite anime is One Piece. Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, we've actually covered most of what I was going to ask.
Awesome.
Let's see. Let me ask you a couple more questions.
Sure.
About maybe the future of the Renaissance Fair.
Sure.
So, let's say that you could run 200 years into the future.
Okay.
Do you think the Renaissance Fair will still be around?
So, yes, I do believe the Renaissance will still be around. I believe we'd be probably doing 20th century stuff. We already do 19th century reenactments around the States. Not us, but just different people. Yeah. And they LARP as World War I fighters and cannons and tanks and nurses and whatnot. So, yeah, so it's kind of like a Civil War reenactment only done for World War I. And I think World War II has it too. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure they do.
That makes sense.
And there's like the War of 1812 so has it. So if unfortunately there's a war going on, they'll reenact.
Someone's going to
react it. But yeah, I think that Renaissance, the whole crust of history, it's almost like it tilts, and Renaissance is right there in the middle to kind of go, what's that? And like I've taught a lot of school kids when we go and see them, I said, is the Renaissance still going? And they would go, and I said, when's the last time you heard that we found a new species of bird? Or one that was extinct that came back, or what new biological thing that we have actually found, or some way of an antibiotic to actually help us.
Right.
I said everything has its roots back to alchemy and sciences, and alchemy was a pre-science. It wasn't witchcraft. It was pre-science.
Right.
It was like...
It was them messing around and trying to find out.
It was trying to figure out how to do things.
Right.
And there was some things that came out of alchemy that actually worked.
That's true.
And that is definitely a
now, no iron and gold yet. But,
I'm sorry. But there was some metallurgical stuff that actually did happen that turned one type into another type, and they were like, look at that.
Metal compounds and stuff that came out of it. Yeah.
So you got that during the Middle Ages, and then late Middle Ages, and then the Renaissance. So you have all that. I mean, even Queen Elizabeth had had one of them on her staff. It was Dr. John Dee. What he was a doctor of, we don't really know. But he called himself that.
Yeah. And other people, apparently the Queen did.
Yeah, the Queen did. Yeah, and that was her advisor that would do weird sort of stuff, like, tarot cards and palm readings and all that kind of crap. Plus the aspect of going through and predicting stuff. And so he was big into that.
Kind of an occult figure type thing.
And it was. And he really, really was. But the thing is that he did do all that
actual science
stuff that went with it, like late at night in the laboratory.
Back in those days, you'd be surprised how hand in hand those things went together.
Yep.
They science
really
and religion as well.
Yes.
Religion, mysticism, and science kind of blended together.
All mingled
into one. Yeah.
Yep.
So okay. Let's see. Oh, my other question that was. So if you had to hand the Renaissance Fair off to someone else, if you had to, what would be
Okay.
the one piece of advice that you would want to convey to them to keep the authenticity and the spirit of what you want to try to, what are you trying to accomplish with the Renaissance Fair?
Atmosphere. They have to keep the atmosphere.
Okay.
Not just with the pop-up tents, but the atmosphere. I like the pop-up tent look because they all dress their tents up into different things, and so it is quite nice.
Yeah.
But it's the atmosphere. Some of my cast members that are in our board of directors can't stand the atmosphere. They're just like, Travis, you're spending money on atmosphere. And it's like, yes, I am.
Well, that's what it's all about.
It's what it's all about. If we have
It's
the money
about
to
the
spend
immersive
it,
experience.
that's right. Try to get as immersive as possible.
Yeah.
And so, that's what we strive.
Okay. So, all right. So let me go back to the nonprofit question. So the ticket sales and everything, they just get reinvested back into the...
No. Part of it,
Renaissance
by Arkansas law, part of it can be, but that's only after we've actually given away money. I mean, as of right now, we've given away about $60,000 over the past 6 years.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot. Yes, it is. It's a lot of money. Yeah. So and we've done it to schools. It goes for schools. It goes for teachers. It goes for anything that's literacy or imagination related. So it's like football teams. They've got the PTAs and then the boosters. So they're taken care of. I know. But we're talking about the little groups of like, I want to play. It's like the school that I grew up at, Cutter Morning Star. We had a choice. You either have bands or you have fans.
Right.
What do you want? And so it's like, we went with fans. And we never had a band when I was actually in school.
Oh, wow.
Ever. So it was before us, it was after us, but not us. So it's like, that's just kind of funny.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, they said money wise. I was like, okay, fine.
Just that year.
So and there was like no formal drama class.
Right.
There was no formal, and arts was like in a dungeon. And it was like just okay. So and home ec was there, and that was like the only thing, but they had their own monies and stuff like that. So we look at the bands, the art clubs, the some of the weirder little clubs, some of the betas that don't get money.
Right.
So we go after the beta clubs and stuff like
That's
that.
Awesome.
So we give them money or we give them an opportunity. A lot of them will come to work for us that weekend. They'll pick trash. I know that sounds like demeaning, but I'm like going, no, if you've ever been to a Ren Faire,
you're going to need some hands.
You need hands on the ground to actually pick up the trash.
Any large group of people, you're going to have to have people.
You have to have it. And so, yes, they go through and they pick up all the trash for us and haul it away and stuff like that. So it's really quite nice to have all that available.
So all the money that comes in from the tickets just gets redistributed back to the community.
So we have a big pot and it goes in there and we try to give away as much as we can. And when the hands stop, and so all the offerings are like people go, no, never mind. Okay, we're fine. Then that money then gets set back for next year. Okay. Because we are allowed by Arkansas law to actually set money back so that we can actually have, put our deposits down and rent and keep going.
Right.
So
overhead costs.
Overheads. So that. And then some things have been, over the years. This is our fourth pirate ship that we've had to build. Just because they've just. This one shouldn't rot. It's sturdy.
Nice.
But the other ones were like, no. You can tell for the progressive. So you can kind of go progressively throughout the years and go, oh, that was something. And up until this boat can almost float.
Right.
So So
eventually, maybe one day you'll have a floating boat.
That's their goal.
Nice.
That's not mine, but that's their goal. It's not mine, but it's theirs.
That'd be cool. Seeing the Ren Faire boat drive floating around Lake Hamilton or something.
Yeah. They have to have pretty good ballast because right now it doesn't. So
that'd be good advertising, though.
Yes, it would.
So speaking of. What's your favorite way to advertise the Renaissance Fair?
Oh, goodness. Word of mouth is the best.
Really?
And so we really try to push that by talking about it. We do a lot of Facebook posts.
Right.
We don't do a lot of TV stuff because we just don't have the connections.
Right.
Now we do. I can
do now.
do now. So we've got connections for it. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And we do some radio stuff. We do print ads. So it'll be in the Sentinel Record soon, I hope. And then they normally do it the weekend right before us. It's like boom. And I'm like, okay. Then we have something called the Ouachita Life. If you've never read it, it's about the Ouachita area and it's news from small towns.
Is it a magazine?
And whatnot. It is like
I think I have heard of it.
It's a paper magazine, so it's not like glossy covers and stuff like that. But in that, a lot of locals actually do promote things, and I say locals, Bismarck, you know, people
the
out
greater
in
Hot Springs area,
the woods.
Yeah.
That's they actually promote, and so we have a full page ad inside there, just to see if we get that, and we really haven't found like the magic way of actually doing it.
Right.
We've seen other fairs do it, and I'm just like, okay, you know, it doesn't catch my attention. It's too much of a flyby for me to actually see for like billboards.
Right, yeah.
And they're expensive anyway.
Yeah, billboards are probably the least effective way to advertise.
Effective way of doing it.
Yeah.
But word of mouth is the thing.
Is your bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
Well, here we are spreading the word of mouth.
Yes.
To other people. Let's see. I think I had a couple more questions.
You're at an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
editing. Didn't feel like it.
Doesn't feel like an hour.
Yeah.
No. I haven't even said hi to Uncle Wilkie yet. Wherever he went to.
So let's see. Okay. So what do you do when you're not preparing for the Renaissance Fair?
Sleep.
So you're constantly preparing?
More constantly, yeah. I don't get my vacation is generally in July and in January.
Okay.
That's about it. And then January is not much of a vacation because we have a show coming up in March.
In March, so you got to start doing stuff.
Yeah,
anyway.
so we have
so it's
to
a
start
year-round
doing
job.
stuff. It's a year-round. Yeah, it's a year-round.
So as soon as one Ren Fair is finished, you're planning for the next one.
We're planning for the next one. Yep.
Okay. I mean, maybe that's why it's growing so well.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope it grows to be huge. It seems like it's nothing but good. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
So,
you know,
everyone I've known that has had a great time. You know.
Good.
And I guess we're about to find out firsthand.
That's right.
Firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
your question?
Ask him about. Okay, so it was your dad sitting across the table from you that said you'd never make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him about what he thinks now.
Okay. All right. So earlier you said that, you know, how this origin story started. You were sitting across the table from your dad, and he said you couldn't do it by yourself, and you said, "Watch me." Mm-hmm. So what does he think now?
Oh, he loves it. He loves going to it. So you can sit and look at people. Nice. And he's a people watcher.
I bet that's probably one of the best places to people watch.
It is, because you get to see all types and creations. I mean, it's everyone. Everyone is there, and every type of people are actually
all walks
there.
of life.
All walks of life. So you get to really see it.
So he was there ever a moment where he was like, "Okay, you were right. You did this all on your own"?
No, but there's been several times where he's gone, "You're doing okay.
That's not bad."
And I'm like, "It's not bad." And from my dad, that's really high praise.
High praise.
So, high praise. So I'm like, okay.
All right. Well,
great.
keep going. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
podcast
you.
today. I'm really excited to go. Like I said, this is my first one, but I think it'll probably be an experience that I won't forget.
You probably won't, good or bad. You won't.
Either way, it's gonna be memorable.
You're gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast,
thank you very much.
man.
Greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate you, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Cool. Love to have you. Well, I'd love to have you. You'd love to have me, and I'd love to have you here. So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in to This, That, and the Third, and this has been Friar James,
or
also Travis Gates. So don't miss the Renaissance Fair. Make sure you go check it out. We will be there, and we'll see you there. Have a great day, guys.